All right, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Coffee Q&A, your daily dose of coffee Q&A. Well, theoretically, daily dose of coffee Q&A. Normally happening most Monday through Fridays, 10 a.m. Eastern. So if you're just turning off the very first time, this show, we talk about coffee and things related to coffee and anything about coffee, blah, 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 blah. And so we've been away for about a week. I think it's been a week, right, since we had the last live stream, mainly because I've been in Boston attending to my aunt, who we have moved here to Maryland, and yeah, it's been quite an adventure. And so I just dropped them. I'm here at the hospital where I've dropped them off to have an appointment with an orthopedic specialist. I don't really know everything that goes on with these things, but Keone, aloha to you. And now we're on the, so I thought, since we're out in this part of Baltimore, I thought, let's go look at one of these bakeries that's out here. Originally, I was planning to go take you to visit this place called Panaderia Dulce, but unfortunately, when I looked it up online, it said that they were temporarily closed, and I don't know what's going on with them. I hope they're not closed. I think when we were in Austin, when we were in San Antonio, we went to a place called La Panaderia that had really wonderful conchas. Now, this place has really nice conchas, not as good as La Panaderia, but it's very good. For Baltimore, it's one of the best. And it's sort of kind of out by this hospital. Russell, how are you? Good to see you. But, unfortunately, it looks like they're closed, and it's not close enough to go check it out. It's like far enough that we'd have to go stretch out there and then come back. But so there's this other place that I wanted to take you to, a place called Yia Yia's. And Yia Yia's, I think, I've only been there once, but I've had their pastries or their cakes several times. Kent, how are you? How are things out in Norway? And I think they're mostly a Greek bakery. They're a Greek-related bakery. Like, a lot of Greek immigrants came to Baltimore, over the decades and settled here and created their own things. And especially like here in the United States, on the East Coast, if you go to a lot of the diners, a lot of them will have, Greek specialties on their menu because they were started by Greek immigrants. And so that's kind of like, if you come to U.S. diners on the East Coast, you'll see a lot of things like spanakopita and other types of Greek foods. And it's interesting, like this one place that I go to called Ashland Cafe, started by a Greek guy, very nice guy, Greek immigrant, and he had some Greek items, but he sold it off to Nepali owners who worked for him for many years. Actually, we were all young when they were working for him. And they eventually, he wanted to retire and he bought them. And I was telling them, why don't you also incorporate some Nepali dishes? They don't want to do that. I don't know why. But anyway, that's a side note. Maku, how are you? And Busa, good morning. So we're on this way to call Yia Yia's, Y-I-A, and I think it means like, I don't know what it means in Greek. But it's out here in an area called Rosedale. And I've been here only once, many, many years ago. My cousin who used to live out here, she's always like, oh, I really like it. You need to go and have some more. And she would bring cakes every once in a while. So it's right up here on the on it. Okay, no audio. Did I just, I just hit that when I put the switch. All right, that's one thing. Here's what I got to remember. I got to remember that every time I switch the camera, I need to be careful and check the mute switch. And then whenever I go into place, I need to check the comments to know that if we've reached a point of what do you call it? Of stalling on the stream, and then I will restart the stream. All right, so as you can see, well, now you can see it. Very Greek. Very Greek looking. Yia Yia's Bakery. So let's go and find out what they got. What's really great. Baldhead says it's just a coincidence that my arrival turned off the... I think you're right, Craig. I think you're right. So some seating outside if you want to sit outside.
Wrong one, sorry.
No worries. Enjoy. All right, so here it is. Ooh, look at this place. Something awesome. Let's see what they got. We're going to start here. Nutella Bueno, Kinder Bueno. Ooh, some cakes. Chocolate cake with American buttercream. Ooh, that looks great. They have some ice creams. I'm presuming they're making them in-house. At least it looks that way because they're putting them in these pans. So we've got cookie dough. Looks like some kind of, what is that? Caramel crunch, coffee crunch, chocolate love. I don't know why they turned that thing around. Butter pecan, vanilla, and honey graham. Ooh. Oh, the prices are very reasonable. One scoop, $3.50. That's very reasonable. And we got some cakes. Ooh, baklava cheesecake. Ooh, $50. Well, that's expensive. Buttercream cake for $31. Not bad. Hard cakes. Ooh. Oh, that's grandmother in Greek. Thank you, Peter. Thank you. So there's quite a lot of... That baklava cheesecake looks killer. Okay, now we got 8-inch carrot cake, $34. Okay, that's a little bit better. The other one was 10 inches. Do they have 8-inch baklava cake? Do they have like a 4-inch baklava cake? Oreo cake. Ooh, peanut butter cake. Ooh. I'm loving it. I want to buy a cake. Smith Island. Oh, here. So Smith Island cake. See, it says 7 layers. There's 7 layers of cake and frosting from Smith Island, Maryland. That's what originated. It's really popular here in Baltimore, or in Maryland in general. It's kind of like our cake. Caramel tres leches, regular tres leches, super atomic. Wow. Actually, I'm curious to know, like, what is really awesome as far as a pastry to go with coffee? Like, what do you think is killer? Like, just truly, like, awesome?
Honestly, like, I haven't tried, like, everything.
Okay. Have you been here a long time? Have you been here a long time?
No.
Okay.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I've been here 15 years, but I haven't tried everything.
Yeah.
So,
have you tried the Danish? I don't think they'll go with coffee.
you think it goes well with it? Oh, it doesn't go well.
I don't know.
What do you like? What do you like to have here? Like, when you think about
Like, I like the turnover, sherry turnover.
sherry turnover, what's that all about?
It's like sherry inside, and it's kind of like the dough is kind of like hard, but it's like
Oh,
I don't know how to explain it. And a lot of people get it.
okay. Okay, so and let's say we got that, and then something chocolatey.
So, okay, yeah, you want to go?
Okay, let's have it. Let's have it. There's some cakes here. The what? Like, what do you think I should have with chocolate? Something with chocolate to go with the coffee. Oh, no, just like, you know, like there's chocolate eclairs or something like that has chocolate with it. Or donut. Yes?
I love it. Just my favorite is like the Snickers, like cup, and it's like vanilla cake with like chocolate.
Okay, I will have the cherry and that Snickers cup that you're talking about, and a coffee. That was easy enough. Let's look at this stuff here. Look at this. So many things to try. Oh, mini Snickers tarts. I really don't remember what she said, but we're going to order it. We're going to try it all. Turnovers, cherry turnover. Ooh. Mini cakes, peach, blueberry. Ooh, look at this stuff. It's so... Linzer tart. Ooh, see, I'm going to try. elephant ears, baklava, strawberry mini cakes, arugula. There's actually a lot to try here. That'd be awesome. Just your black coffee. Yeah, that'd be perfect. Thank you. Oh, and here now, look at that. There's some hot, and then all cookies. Good God, there's a lot to like explore here. I should never have come here. I may never come here again. It's like, oh look. Okay, so chocolate top cookies. These are very popular here in Baltimore in some form or another. Basic cookies with like a fudge topping, very popular. Ah, yes. Well, I think with what you're giving me, I'm going to have to get the large.
Okay.
Look at those things. Those are huge. Those are so huge. Awesome.
I'm glad you were trying something new.
Oh yeah, I'm always excited to try different things.
Yeah, it's $13.93.
Because if it was me, I just get donut. You know, that'd be terrible. I'd
Yeah.
be disappointed. It'd be
Something
disappointed.
new, you know.
Absolutely.
It's always good to try new things.
Just give me the 5.
Are you sure?
Absolutely.
Thank you so much.
Oh, just the 5.
Oh, just a 5. Oh, okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, and let me get your coffee.
Awesome.
You said just black coffee.
Just black. Thank you. Oh, cookies over here. There's cookies here. Then they have other stuff like boli from Italy. Oh, so very nice. Very nice. Biscoff tart. Good God. Good God. And I've got the Wait, they don't have croissants. Oh, there she is. I'll come to you. All right. Awesome. Thank you. What's your name?
Angelique.
Angelique. Thank you,
Nice to
Angelique.
meet you.
Nice to meet you. Oh, is there some napkins over here?
Yeah, napkins.
Okay, thank you. Ah, she's so nice. That's so unusual. Okay, I got some napkins. Oh, I'm going to need a fork. And let's go. Can we do this outside? Oh, yeah, we'll sit on. Oh, it's chilly outside. So we're going to walk outside and see what we can see. Can I sit here at the bench? There's a bench. All right. Problem with this, I don't have a way to prop up. Oh, Maku, thank you. Gosh, that's very kind. That's very kind. Thank you. I appreciate that. Anton says, let me recommend the croissant. You know, they don't have croissants. Can you believe that? They don't have croissants. I guess they don't do croissants in Greece. But they didn't have croissants. Dev, good morning to you. The cakes look really good. I mean, they look really, oh, it's chilly. So today, for some reason, it's really chilly here in Maryland. Okay, it's too chilly. Like I was all ready to leave, and I had shorts and a t-shirt on, and I had to put this vest, and I had to put on pants. I put on my boots. Because I'm feeling Western. I'm feeling Texas. That's what I feel like. Actually, what's nice is that. Who was it? Somebody in the comments of the video that we released from Mocha was like, "Wow, man, you really lost weight." Like, I was like, "Yeah, I know." I was like, every time I look at these videos, I'm like, I can't believe like. I was like, "Holy smokes!" But like, what I'm leading up to is that these boots that I bought in Texas many years ago, like in the '90s. Up until the last couple of years, like I would try to put them on, and they were like super tight, like they were like super tight because I had fat, pudgy feet, and now I can wear them again. I'm like, oh my gosh, man, my pants don't fit. It's terrible. Okay, we're in the car now. This will be better. This should be better at least. At least here we can have some control over the wind and stuff. Peter says, didn't see any traditional Greek cake. Well, there was the baklava cake. I don't even know what traditional Greek cake is. What is traditional Greek cake? Anton said, imagine you had no memory or recollection of the existence of croissants. Wouldn't you immediately recognize them as the killer snack to go with? I think I would. I would agree with that. I would totally be like, oh, I need to have it. M0 says that $13.93 is a very reasonable price. I think so. I mean, we got a big coffee, 16 ounce. And I got the 16-ounce coffee because when I saw the size of these pastries, I was like, oh, I'm going to need a lot of coffee. And then we got her recommendations, cherry turnover, and this Snickersy tart cake. It looks like a cake. It looks like a little baby cake. Look at that thing. It's a baby cake. Just like, can I eat all that? Should I eat all that? That's probably bad. Next week, I'm supposed to go see my PCP, and she's going to be like, what have you been doing? Oh, man, here we go again. Power Plant says the Biscoff tart, that does sound slime. It does. It looked pretty awesome. Like, I was like, oh. But, you can't buy everything. Like, it would be, well, you could, but I would be remiss to buy everything. Angelique, very nice girl. Like, see, as you could see, and or at least you could hear, this is the kind of person public interacting companies need. Like, she's great. Like, exuberant, friendly, personable, fairly knowledgeable. And fairly knowledgeable. And also, one of the things I liked about her was that not afraid to say, I don't know everything, right? I don't know all of the product because I haven't had the time, or I haven't had the opportunity, or whatever the reason was, to taste it all. And as you could see by the selection, like, there's a lot to try. So, yeah, but really, I really believe that someone that's personable makes an interaction. Like, let's presume, I'm going to make a presumption right now. Let's presume the coffee is terrible. Like, maybe let's presume the coffee is some of the worst coffee we've ever had. But you know what? It was such a pleasant and fun time with her that I was like, oh, you know what? Who cares? Like, it was a pleasant experience so far. So I'm very and as you see it in this live stream in real time, like I will have different reactions based on my interaction with someone on staff, and it makes you happy to have come and to have visited, and I think it makes people open to return again, right? If you have a negative interaction, you don't really care to go back. But if you have a great interaction, you want to go back, and I just love that. I love that. Peter says you need Coloraka coffee with Greek coffee. Coloraka. Okay, I will try to remember that. Anton says maybe they have croissant. Okay, that's funny. That's a funny one. All right, Germany. Score 1 for Germany there. Keone says, major reason I can't live in a cold climate area. I hate pants and shoes, shorts, t-shirts, and slippers for me. Real. I hear you, man. I hear you. But here's the thing, and I don't know if this is true for me today as much, but I stopped going out in slippers, like all day long wearing slippers. And when we talk about slippers in Hawaii, we mean like flip-flops or chanclas in other parts of the world. There are different names for them, but they're basically, those strapped sandals. And it's been a few years since I've tried this, but man, I remember there's a time when, if I didn't wear shoes, my feet would swell, and I'd be like, oh, it'd be painful. And I was like, oh man. So I haven't done it in a long time to go all day with slippers. I'll wear them around the house, but not to go out, because I like that. I need or at least when I was bigger, I needed to have that compression to hold it together. But cookie. Oh. I was trying to figure out what the copy meant. I figured you didn't mean copy, but Power Plant says that it's comically. So it is. Look at this. Let's look at the comparison of my face. Right? I don't have a small head. I've got a pretty big head. and not necessarily, and not in the way that my sister-in-law would say that I have a big head, but I think I have a big head. It's like 7 5/8 in hat size. But look at this thing. It's huge. Huge. M0 says that would be at least $25. No doubt, no doubt. That ginormous. It's a good deal. I love cherry turnovers, says Q&A. That turnover eats other turnovers. Power Plants, young people are the most fun. Gosh, don't say it that way. You make us sound like we're so old. But she was definitely fun. She was definitely fun. Peter says Gen Z are crazy. Paige, good morning to you. Paige, have you thought more about your woodworking projects? I've been thinking about you. Actually, I thought about you, especially this morning, because I was watching this video from this guy on YouTube who, oh no, I totally like intersected with that tart. And he was, I'm gonna link to it on the community post later today, but he's a woodworking video creator that was talking about other not really relatively unknown woodworking creators, and he actually listed a couple women who were making projects, and they're all like starting out, like they don't have like highly specialized tools, but they're just doing their work. And I was like, oh, I think Paige might be interested in that. I was thinking about this morning. Kutabatis had to Google. Oh, Kutabatis. Okay, there we go. Kutabatis. Anton says, got to make myself some coffee too. Paige says, I'm not from an island, but I'm a flip-flops and t-shirts for life. I hate winter because it's a good thing you live more in the south, because like it's. But today it's kind of chilly. Kiona says you could buy a turnover, and with some minor adjustments, you could use it. I know, and actually with this one, with the cherry, I could probably cut it open and have like a blood effect. All right, let's break into it. I'm going to break into it. Actually, I'm going to try to break in the center. And I've got to hold it like this because it's kind of formidable. Oh gosh. I'm actually not in my vehicle. This is my mom's car, and so I should not like make it. Okay, it's not coming apart very. It doesn't come apart very easily. So it's got the kind of cherry filling that you find from like commercial bakeries, which I guess Yia Yia is a commercial bakery now. But you know, whatever the case may be, that's fine. Oh, but very doughy. Like look at that, flaky, and it's got a lot of structure. Like it wasn't easy to pull apart. Huh? Paige says, I wish I had time to think about woodworking. Between work and life, I barely had, I haven't done any gardening either. I'm so far behind in gardening. Like I've done nothing. And all my herbs are dead from last year. As far as gardening goes, I'm kind of hosed. All right, let's look here. Here's the coffee. Big old 16-ounce coffee. It doesn't smell terrible. A bit dirty. Oh, a little bit dirty. Better with... This is the coffee for the cream and sugar crowd, right? The crowd that wants to have cream and sugar all the time. This is the coffee for them. But without any real foundation for this statement, I'm still going to say it. This like flaky dough, like pastry that kind of has some kind of like lamination. Like I don't know if it's truly like laminated, like French viennoiserie kind of dough. Has what to me I would consider a very Greek style to it. Like it's a lot more stronger, right? The dough is stronger. Not necessarily harder, but chewier, thicker, more resistive to the bite, more resistive to the chew. a distinct textural difference than like croissants or viennoiserie type of thing that you get from a typical French style patisserie. A little more hearty. Michael says, dang, that's huge. Yeah, that's what she said. Power Plant says, as much as I like variety, I really respect the one thing done super well and kind of place. And I agree. I agree with that. I agree with that. But I don't know what their one thing is here. I should have asked her. That was what I was planning to ask originally before I walked in. But then I was like, oh well, I don't know what I asked. But I was like, well, what's good? Oh, this is nice. Now, I am the kind of person that prefers French style pastry. So I prefer that lighter buttery dough. That's what it is. It's not so buttery. It's like more like shortening. So it's just different. It's not that it's bad. It's just different. And maybe like my preference would always be towards the French, right? But it doesn't mean that I'm not enjoying this. I'm actually quite enjoying it. It's kind of right on the edge of the flaky side for me, though. You know how there's some croissants you have that are super crunchy and flaky, and the moment you touch them, they just kind of shatter? This kind of lamination is moving towards that direction. It's not quite to that level. It's moving in that direction. And it's right on the edge of what I would like. I don't really like it when it shatters. Mainly because it just makes a lot of mess. And I'm just like, ugh. Then it got all over me, all over everything. I take a bite like that and I feel like the Mork Weens. Anton says, that thing looks like the throwing star of I like that one. All right, Germany, you're on a roll today. Peter says, scuba diving in a wetsuit versus your swimwear. Oh, yeah. That's not... Well, I mean... I want to... I normally will wear I'll wear some kind of neoprene top. Not for scuba diving, but for like... When I'm out in the water pretending that I'm spearfishing, trying to spear like octopus, but I can't see the octopus, even though it's it's only like 4 feet in front of me and right below me, and I'm looking directly at it, but the thing is so well camouflaged I can't see it. So I just kind of go around and look like I'm cool with my spear, and like think that at least so girls will see me and they're like, ooh, he's spearfishing. Then I get out and they're like, well, how come he doesn't have any fish? It's like, well, I'm just what do they call that? I'm just perpetrating. That's what it is. Paige says, I'm about to give up on gardening. I put 3 tomato plants in the ground. I've got solid starts, sprouts spread all over my house, and a bunch of flowers that need to be planted. Well, that's awesome. Well, why are you going to give up on it, though? Power Plant says that Can Cherry 5 still can hit. I have to agree with you. I mean, it's still good. I mean, there's nothing... I don't necessarily mean that to be pejorative, that I said it was a commercial. It is commercial filling, right? But it doesn't necessarily mean that it's bad. Still fun. I can't hate on it. And I think that's the key. I mean, I'm going on another tangent, but kind of related. I do think that now that I'm chewing in more into it, I do think the lamination is made with shortening rather than butter. Just the way it feels. It feels more like... It feels to me more like some of the best American pies I've ever had. Like pie crust dough is made with flour and shortening, and you're cutting it, right? It kind of has that texture. Like some of the best pies I've ever had dough that was similar to this. As far as the chew, I can see why Angelique really likes it. Okay, now let us go and look here at the Snickers, whatever she called it. What do you recall what she called this? The Snickers something? I did damage it over here. Sorry. Keone says it's 9:24 in Thailand and 85 degrees. Ooh, it's not bad. That's not bad either. Nice, says Michael. More definition. Now that I'm so slow with the comments, now I'm not quite sure how to correlate that. Sorry. Powerplant says East Coast Greek places that don't do Greek food are the definition of jack of trades, master of. What Greek places don't do Greek food? You mean diners? Keone says, Pierre says, Keone, you're way closer to the equator. Oh, no doubt. We are very closer. They are very closer. He is very closer. Powerplant says the turnover is probably one standard deviation above a gas station. I mean, maybe a little bit, but it's not bad. I mean, I think the crust is really growing on me, and I'm really. No. I have to say, while the filling may not be much more than like what they use in Tasty Cake or Hostess, the crust is substantially better, superior to those. So while I get what you're saying, I would say that it's a few notches above the gas station variety. I think where the gas station variety comes in, what pulls it down towards that kind of correlation is just the filling, right? The commercial filling. Had they used a different filling, it'd probably be like. Keone says, it's interesting. There are a lot of shops here in Thailand that just serve one thing and one thing only. They often sell it real fast. I would like to do that one day. Maybe just do one thing. And Powerplant says, that's an Asian thing in my experience. In Japan, that is the norm as well. Ah, yes. M0 says, I watched this show with Bourdain while he was on an old French farm, I believe. He cooks stew-like meal slowly inside of a pumpkin with several spices, including making it savory and slightly. Ooh, that sounds wonderful. Paige says, not enough time and energy to get it done. My back has been out of commission more than not lately. Oh, I see. Hey, you know what? It's all right. Take your time with it. Don't worry about it. No rushing. Oh, M0 says that the pumpkin, the cooking of the pumpkin looked awesome, and the process and everything that goes along with it. Powerplant says, that sounds great. That sounds good. When I lived in Korea, they had a special dish that was a duck stuffed with sweet rice, Chinese jujubes, pine nuts, garlic cloves, then all stuffed in pumpkin and fire roasted. Oh, nice. Actually, speaking of pine nuts, I've eaten a lot of pine nuts, but I've never really seen them in the wild until yesterday. Finally, I was out. On Friday, we had a big storm that came through Maryland or Baltimore and really caused a lot of damage. Where the house was out of power for a day and knocked down a tree. So I've been out cutting it and getting it ready, processing it. And I was, there's a big pine tree nearby, and I was like, oh, here's the pine tree. And there's pine nuts on the pine cone, because I normally only see the pine cones after they fall and after they released it. And I was like, oh man, I always miss it. Finally, I got to see pine nuts. I don't know if they're ready to eat yet, but I'm kind of tempted to eat them. I don't know if that's safe. Powerplant says, in my experience, when shops do monster size stuff, it has an inverse relationship with quality. Yes, I hear you. I totally hear you. And, we're not saying that, I wouldn't say that this is the greatest cherry tart in America, or the greatest cherry tart ever. I mean, it's good, but what I do like about it, despite, beyond its gigantic size, the crust is really, the more that I've been eating it, the crust really is. There is a satisfying toothiness, chewiness to it that is very satisfying to like bite into. I think that's where the great pleasure of this tart comes from. All right, now let's go to this Snickers thing. M0 says, I can't wait to disappear. I can't wait to disappear and find these places. To disappear and find these places. I see. I would go to a place right now. You should go out and try them. Karen says, there's a dessert here that is custard, which is not too sweet, that is cooked in a pumpkin. Oh, that sounds very good too. That sounds very good. Okay, so let's go into this thing. We're going to take up our fork, and it's very, very soft. And look, we've got some looks like peanuts. And there's cake at the bottom, and a creamy kind of filling, and then a shellish kind of. It's very light. Okay, so it's a lot of cream, which is fine. But I gotta say, my first bite, not crazy about it. It's cake. And what am I not liking about it? I think the cream is too much. But here's why I think it's too much. Because when you think about Snickers is nougat with peanuts and caramel enrobed in chocolate. So when you bite into it, there's a lot of like resistance to your chew. This doesn't, and to me, that's one of the most satisfying things of the Snickers, is that chewiness, that resistance to your chew, right? This doesn't have that. So that pleasure of eating a Snickers is missing from this. It's like a cake with a lot of frosting or a lot of whipped cream and a little bit of nuts. I mean, I get it. That conceptually, it is Snicker-y. But like, all of this, I could delete. Like if I just went down and just scooped out the cake, perfectly fine. In many ways, even better. Like I think the frosting or the whipped cream, the whatever flavor that whipped cream may be, to me, it's superfluous. Like here's a bite. Here's a cross section of the Snickers, right? On the top there, they put a little slice of it. As you can see, even though it's a little bit crushed, the nougat's on the bottom, and the nougat is very thin, or equal in thickness to the layer of the caramel and peanuts. So the ratio is much better. This is like, let me see if I get this out of here so you can see better. The ratio, never mind. This is not working out well. But the ratio of whipped cream, flavored whipped cream to everything else is tremendous. Like it's tremendous. Like it's just way too much. So I'm gonna eat around it. Right, and just give me some of the peanuts here on this side. And very sweet. Right now we need the coffee. God knows, if my PCP ever watches our live stream, she's going to be like, yeah, no wonder you're not losing weight faster. But I'm not eating it all, Michelle. I gotta say, when you have a PCP that you actually like and get along with, and like, it's so much nicer. And I see my PCP fairly regularly, like every couple months, which is good because I used to go like years without seeing a basic PCP. She's also very like cooperative, like not judgmental and not like, you know, not the yelling at, oh yeah, you need to lose weight. I know I need to lose weight. And then she kind of goes off book and does her own thing. Like for a while I was using that Ozempic thing, right? And it was working very well, and then we reached a kind of a plateau stage. But then I think the plateau is not just because it was plateauing, but also because I'm not necessarily very good at like eating, right? Eat a lot less, and I eat a lot of salads, but nowadays, but like if I want ice cream, I'm gonna go have ice cream. Or I'll have things like this, right? But I was like, she's like, should we switch you to Manjaro? And I was like, well, I think we should go one more round with the Ozempic. And she's like, okay. And then when I went to get my prescription filled, Manjaro. I was like, oh. Which is fine. That worked even better. So, you know, I'm a typical guy, right? Like I don't really know those things. So I just kind of, what the woman says, I guess I got to go along. Hey, Jess, what's the pastry? PowerPoint says Snickers tart. Is that what she called it, Snickers tart? Because I don't remember. Yeah, no cream in Snickers. Yeah, no cream in I would have, I mean, I get it, why they probably did that, because, you know, if you put just a little bit of nougat, your tart, instead of being like this, is now like this. And, you know, I guess if you're trying to go for a big statement, it's kind of like, wah. But I think it suffers because of that choice. Like, I think it would have been superior with it being, with the proportions being better. Like, the proportions, for me, it's always about proportion. Now, there's a piece of that Snickers, the Snickers bar. It's so warm in here now that it's all falling apart. This is just, it's kind of disaster now. Yeah, see, you eat the Snickers, chewiness, resistance, a little bit of crunch, better balance of flavors, like, and the flavors are kind of strong. The peanut, the caramel, the nougat, the chocolate, they're all kind of like even. Where the cake, the tart is. I feel like when they were designing the tart, they didn't really take into account what is it that makes Snickers a great candy bar. Because it doesn't really hit like that whipped cream is just way too large. Candace says there's a bakery in Kauai that made Long Johns, chocolate eclairs, and cream puffs that were dinner plates. It was the old Tip Top Bakery. Oh my gosh. Change owners are no longer with them, sell them. I wonder if were they good at that size? Like there's actually Rusty's brother and sister and brother-in-law were here visiting, because actually Rusty's brother-in-law, Ralph, he grew up in Baltimore also. And so usually about once a year, they come to visit his parents. And so when they're here, we'll get together. Actually, speaking of which, they'll probably be here next month. So one year we went to a place called the Essen Room, which is this deli, Jewish delicatessen. And we got this cake, and their cake. So this is a carryout box, right? Like this is a typical carryout. You know those carryout boxes that have the 3 sections? This is almost that size, or more or less that size. Imagine one of those 3-section like carryout containers that only has 1 section, like this does. one slice of cake fit in the entire, took up the entirety of the carryout container. I was like, holy God, that was crazy. There's a lot of places that have that. Like, and here's another thing. Like, and when you to Power Plant's point about the size, one of my favorite desserts that we talked about before is something called Sanserval, which is a Filipino dessert that has layers of sugared baked meringue that are layered with sugared butter and chopped cashews. To me, it is the greatest dessert ever made by humans. It is a demonstration that God or Allah or Jehovah exists in the universe. But I must have it a specific way, right? The way that my mom made it it's very specific, right? It's got a little bit, it's got chewy layers, and it's, maybe about this tall. And you go to Manila, there's a place called Conti's, a bakery, Conti's, Conti''S. Very famous for their version of Sanserval. And again, these guys make cakes that are like, whoosh, they're like super huge. They're super huge, like multiple layers, like huge layers. And their version of Sanserval has thick baked meringue that's like thick like this, and it's hard and crisp. And then the layers of like, it's huge. Like, it's super like impressive. You're like, oh, that's impressive looking. But it doesn't taste impressive. I'm like, to me, I'm like, this is rubbish. Can't believe I wasted my time and tummy space for this. But just to your point, Power Plant, about big stuff usually is not that great. Power Plant says, I stop fishing food if I don't love it, and that's what I need to work more on. That's kind of how I got the big tummy. Oh, yeah, PCP, primary care. Oh, yeah, sorry, Peter. Here we call a primary care physician, who's your normal doctor that you go to talk about, why is my arm numb? What else? What is this lump on my chest? Right? Like, there's a lump here. The last time I saw my PCP, I was like, there's a lump here. Like, and I was like, is this normal? She's like, rubbing it. And she's like, yeah, that's normal. I said, well, I just never had it before. She's like, because you couldn't feel it because you had all this fat covering it. Okay, that's my interpretation. She did not say that. Although I'd be perfectly fine if she said that. But like, oh, you're right, it was all fatty tissue here. Prabhupada says, doctors usually treat patients like idiots these days. Bedside, yeah, and that's the nice thing about my PCP. She's very good. She's very nice, very pleasant, very easy to talk to. She got pregnant, so she's been away for the last 6 months. And so I was like, oh man, She was like, so for my February checkup, she was like, well, I could schedule you for February and with another PCP, who's very nice. She's like, she's very nice. Or you could just wait till May. And I was like, oh, I can just wait till May. She said, well, maybe you should go in February. And I was like, all right, fine. Fine, whatever you say. Malcolm says, have you tried Canum Cafe near Johns Hopkins? I have not. I didn't even know that was there. What? Canum. Where is that? Is that the one that's in the Space Telescope Institute? If so, I'm familiar with who the owner is. Peter says, we have wild oysters here the size of dinner. Ooh, that sounds delicious. Well, you're in Australia. You guys got wild animals of all sorts in Australia, right? Like, I hear it's crazy. I hear it's just wild and crazy there. Keone says, you're really good, but that's the recollection of 20-something years. Oh, yeah. I mean, I get it. And who knows? And what we might have thought when we were young that was awesome may not be that great today to our taste. Although Masu's massive plate lunch, still awesome. Or at least in my mind, it will always be awesome. Power Plant said, and Kev, for you that may not be, I don't know if you're familiar, there used to be a place right behind, okay, so where, like, I think there's a Sam's Club there now on Kilmoku Street, right? Behind that, there used to be a place called Masu's Massive Plate Lunch. And this guy, Masu, I guess his name is Masu, they would have a plate lunch. And so for those of you not be familiar with Hawaiian food, the plate lunch is basically, you get a takeout container similar to this, 3-compartment container, and you have a scoop of macaroni salad, 2 scoops of rice, and then some kind of meat. Maybe teriyaki chicken, maybe kalbi ribs from, Korean style, maybe pork adobo from the Philippines, hamburger steak, which is like a Salisbury steak, right? Things like that, you'll get that with it. Or chicken katsu from Japan. Instead of tonkatsu, we have torikatsu, chicken katsu, which is actually my favorite. Chicken katsu with the katsu sauce, and then later, when it finally, like in the 90s, it evolved into chicken curry katsu. Oh God, love that. I love that. But you get it, and it's a lot of food. It's a lot of food, right? In this container, be a lot of food. But Masu's Massive was like let's say you get the hamburger steak, right? The hamburger steak is just like a patty. And then normally they'll give you like 1 hamburger patty, maybe 2 hamburger patties and gravy. Masu's was like, the patty was like this. It was like massive, of course. And it's probably one of the best deals. And we didn't eat there very often because it was way too much. That, and we would go to see Felix at, and he's still around, Dev, if you're there. Like, he's now on North King Street in Kalihi. What is it called? Do you remember, Keone? It used to be down in Chinatown. The guy Felix, Filipino guy, he'd be like, how you, brother? How you, brother? He still does it. When I go down there, he's still like, oh, how you, brother? But, oh man, what is the name of that? Somebody, oh yeah, Masu's Massive Plate Lunch Prime Rib and Lobster for $15. Yeah, see, that was good deals, man. In the 90s, that was great deals. Okay, let's see here. Keone says that Thai desserts, Kinom is desserts in Thai. Oh. Power Plant says, really love any dessert with meringue. One of the few nice British foods is Eton mess. Oh, wow, really? I'm not even familiar with that. Which is crumbled meringue, whipped cream, and fresh strawberries. Oh, that does sound good. That sounds good. M0 says it's kind of strange, really. People are required to know more to graduate any degree, associates to a doctorate, simply responsible for more, but the behavior is more extreme. Ah. Well, I gotta say, my PCP, she's very good. Oh, the family that runs Kenom is also Asian. Oh, I'm gonna have to go check it out. That makes sense, though, if it was that. Malcolm says, maybe do a roll reception from Kenom Cafe, easy to find on Google Maps. I recommend their coconut croissants or their round garlic bread thing with the cream cheese. Round garlic bread with cream cheese filling. Ooh. All right. I'll try it. M0 says, like watching chimpanzees in a clown costume riding a nuclear weapon from the belly of a plane and yelling. Power Plant says, love a place that keeps everything to chafing distance and just stops it. Southern Meat and 3. Oh, yeah, that's a good one. Or like where I've been going to lately, or not so, somewhat lately, is IKEA. IKEA is like that. And IKEA has actually a pretty darn good deal. Lemon, is it lemon cod or some kind of fish? And that's not salmon. With vegetable and potato for like $4, $5, $6, or whatever. It's actually very reasonably priced for what it is. And I'm like, oh, that's pretty darn good. Peter says sometimes a simple dessert like cream rice is so underrated. Oh, totally. All right, let's move on now. We're going to move on because I've had enough of this and I need to stop eating pastry. I did not finish it all. Like, there's still a lot in here. Which is good because, oh man, I'm starting to feel it actually. It's like diabetes is onsetting right away. All right, we're going to move. Actually, where we're going to go is I'm going to keep you guys for just a few more minutes. I'm sure that my aunt's appointment is going to be over soon. It's been an hour now. But just down the road here, I'm in a place called Rosedale, just outside of Baltimore. We're on a place called Philadelphia Road, Yia Yia's. Very nice. Actually, with Angelique. Angelique made the whole experience wonderful. The pastries are fine, right? Like the tart, the cherry tart was good. not the best, but I did enjoy the chewiness of the shortening based laminated dough that created the crust of the tart. I think that the Snickers tart was kind of a miss. You know, it didn't really capture the essence to me of what the joy of eating Snickers is about. And the coffee, not the greatest, but a little bit dirty. I know, good to offset the sweetness of the pastry, but not necessarily what you want to seek out on your own. And I don't know if necessarily a lot of places like this. I don't know if they should or they shouldn't or ought to have, high-level coffee, because, I'm sure high-level coffee would make it better. I was out yesterday drinking my own coffee that I got, because when I go to deliver stuff to what do you call it, to the food market, I usually get a cup to taste just to see how the coffee is doing. And I was driving around with it. I was thinking I would like to have some pastry, but I refrained so that I wouldn't, eat too much pastry. So, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? So where we're going to? Oh, Keone says that, yes, I remember. I forgot the name, but it used to be in downtown. Yeah. Well, man, I'm gonna remember it at some point. It's still in existence in Kali. And while Felix is the owner, it's not the name of the cafe. It's not, man, what is wrong with me? Anyway, so we're on the way to one of my other favorite places here in Baltimore. For some reason, Philadelphia Road has two of my favorite places. We went to Yia Yia's, which is nice. But really, there's another place here called Fiesta Mexicana. So if you're ever in Baltimore, you want really great Central Mexico or Mexico City style antojito, street foodie kind of type food, Fiesta Mexicana, they're amazing. And they're my favorite Mexican restaurant in Baltimore. I love to go there. Not terribly close to where I live, so I don't get to go there as often. I've known the owners since 2007, and so I just love it. I love it. I love their food. Just delicious. But before we get there, on the way there, on the road that we're going, there's another place that I go to. And Anton, you may or may not approve, and I don't know if they're going to even be approval. We might get a lot of disapproval of me live streaming as we go in, but we're going to have to see. I would not be surprised if they kick me out. They're German. It's a German sausage house called Binkert's, and I think they make hands down the best sausages. So since I'm out here, I'm I need to go get some Bayernwurst, and we'll see if they will. And even the Japanese girl that they got to work for them recently, in the last year or so, even she speaks German, because she moved from Japan to live in Germany and learn German. So it's everybody speaks German here, except for me. I have to be a little bit intimidated. But this place actually caught fire quite a few years ago and nearly went out of business. But it's so the casing they use, everything about this place is so delicious. I don't know if you'll agree, but we're gonna see. All right, here we are, Binkert's. Oh, that's true. After the Dunkin' XP. Ray's Cafe. Perfect. Thank you. That's exactly it. Okay, here we are. Binkert's. This is it. Binkert's. They're going to kick us out. I don't know if they're going to kick us out. Be gone, Binkert's. All right, I'm going to have to. So let's see. They've got all kinds of goods. Anton, you can tell us if these are good. Oh, here's what I need. I need this. This is my favorite. I still have red cabbage. Look here, curry ketchup. Super popular. Holsteiner. Oh, this is not made here. Where is this made? Oh, this is made here. Holsteiner. Here's some coffee from Jacob's. Oh, and today is, oh, they have bread left. On Fridays, they have breads here. I think they're like cutting up some pigs. Look at that. Zinc invest. Libercos. Hey there. Can I get 2 packs of the Baronwurst? And 2 links of the Landjäger, please?
2 pairs?
Just 1 pair. 1 pair, yeah, thank you. So lots of... So here, this is it. Yeah, the Nürnberger, very good.
Okay, what else?
The sausage,
Uh-huh.
that
More
one,
vinegar or less?
less vinegar. Again, thick slices, half a pound and a
That'll be it for
quarter
today.
pound.
Okay, at 28.67.
28.67. Awesome. Thank you. All right, we got our bag. All right, we got our bag of sausage. Sometimes I'll come here and also buy like 3 pounds of bacon. And they're like, how thick do you want them cut? And I just kind of say, a little bit on the thick side. And then one time I was like, make it really thick. Really thick was way too much. Like, bacon has to have, you think that their bacon is better, but it's really not. It's really, there's something missing when you go really, really thick on your bacon. So I did not enjoy that. So, but last time I was here, I did buy so what I do is I'll buy 3 pounds of bacon and then get out the baking sheets and then bake them off. I'll like bake them off in the oven, like 350 degrees for like 15 minutes. So I'll cook them most of the way, render out a lot of the fat, reserve the fat for use for other stuff. And then I will, and then I'll layer them, freeze them, and then I can take them out after that point and maybe just 20 seconds in the microwave and it's perfectly crisp the way that I like it, right? My mom and my brother, they like it really like crisp, like totally rendered out, totally like almost burnt. Like as though you're eating big planks of like, I don't know, bacon bits. I don't like that. That's too much. That's too much cooking for me. I want it to be less cooked. But that's our German bakery. Like, I love coming here, but it's so far away from where it's just not convenient for me to go on a regular basis. So, what did I get here? Oh, let's take a moment to look at our larder. So, what did I get here?